is a live webinar, and we're going to be interviewing one of our, what we call our licensees, one of our business owners. And let's see if I can get that up on the screen here. Let's see, that is this slide, right? There we go. So I titled this today, Is Medical Billing as a Business Really Profitable? And the reason I did that, even though we're interviewing one of our licensees, I thought, well, this would be a good time to talk with somebody who's actually in the business, has been in the business for a while, and can share with you the answer to that question. And I think you'll find out that it's quite profitable. It can be profitable, again, depending on how much time you put into the business. We teach people how to do medical billing. I've been on one of these webinars before. We've been doing these for about 10 years now, every Wednesday at about 4 p.m. Central Time. You may not know who I am even. So I'm just going to introduce myself. I'm the founder of the company, and we've been around for about 28 years now. That's right. Since 1994 is when my wife started doing medical billing. Now, what we do is we have a cloud-based system. That means you can use any computer that has a browser that connects to the internet, of course, to actually run your business from anywhere in the world. There's nothing that's loaded onto your computer at all. No software, no updates, no codes, no patient information. It's all in the cloud. And as you know, that's the safest way to run anything. That's why all the banks, of course, use cloud-based software as well. We partner with some of the biggest names in the industry. Here's some of them right here. By the way, I'm recording this, so if in the future you want to review all of this and maybe look some of these companies up, you're welcome to do that, or you can take a screenshot of this one here. But these are some large companies out there in the medical field that have decided to partner with us because we promote their products and services and use their software and so forth. And we've got a lot of different things besides medical billing that we offer through our business owners, through our licensees. These are some of them here. You'll find out more about that on our website. If you haven't been there, it's the website at the bottom of this slide, absystems.com. Just go out there and read as much as you can about that. And I'll tell you a little bit more towards the end here, if you are interested in pursuing this, how you can get more information. My wife, Linda, as I said, started doing this back in 1994. So she's the real founder of the company. I just came along and was working for Apple Computer at the time. And I decided to look at what she was doing. And she was started making so much money. We bought a new home. We bought some new cars. People started asking us, what are you doing to make that kind of money? And you never seem to leave the house. Well, it was medical billing for doctors. And of course, back then she was doing it on a typewriter. You know, it wasn't done on the cloud like we do it now. But anyway, that's how we got started. We're now the nation's largest network of independent medical billing companies. I'm an author. You can go out to Amazon if you want to check out some of the books that I've written. There they are on the screen. One of the latest ones is The New Thriving Medical Practice. I wrote that with Dr. Vicki Rackner, who is a retired general surgeon. And we use this, by the way, as a marketing tool. I may tell you a little bit more about that as we go along. You'll find out more about that as you talk to your ABS rep. I'm also a member of the editorial board of Billing and Coding Advantage magazine. They've been out there for many, many years. They have over 40,000 subscribers. Yes, it's an actual print magazine that comes in the mail every month. And you'll see some of my articles in those as well. I also helped found the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. Now you can go check them out at MRMA.org. You see that up here in the corner. And so this is the company that actually issues the certificate to you at the end of our training. We do all of our training, of course, online, virtually, with a live instructor for you alone, you and the instructor. And anyway, they issue this certificate that certifies you as a certified medical revenue manager. Again, we're the nation's largest network. You can plug into us and just basically instantly have a sound, credible business without having to, start from scratch and build the wheel from scratch. This is a later, it's one of the awards we just won called the Game Changers for 2021. And we're proud of that. That's one of the magazines and sites that are out there that issues this every year to some of the top 100 franchises that are out there. Well, let's get going with a live interview here and see if Carri is still back there behind the scenes. We were talking earlier. So Carri, you can turn on your webcam there. I'm going to stop sharing this so we can just kind of have you and I. Hey, there she is.
Hello.
Thanks, Carri. And Carri is up in the New York area. And I think, are you in is that a home office that you're in?
Yep.
Okay. So have you ever had an office that you paid for, No,
No, I never did.
no
Always
need for
worked from
that, is
home.
there? So, Carri, why don't we just start? I am going to take some questions in the question box, folks. If you think of them as we go along here, you can ask them directly to Carri, and I'll read them up to her here on the screen. But Carri, why don't you start by just kind of sharing with us how you got started, why you got into this business, and so forth. Just some of the stuff that we talked about, earlier.
Okay. So I specialize in podiatry. And I did it for many years, part-time, when my kids were little, so I could be home and be there for them. And they needed something, I could run out. And the office was there in their office upstairs. And I just felt like I always wanted to do something for myself, create something. And I really like doing medical billing. And then my husband had a ski accident and he was out of work. And I said, well, now this is the time. And by the way, he's doing okay. Although he did not ever go back to work, but he's doing great.
Good.
So I decided to go ahead and go for it. And kind of payback, I guess. It was my time to really make money.
Well, that's wonderful. That's the story of everybody that ever gets their own business started. They'll say basically the same thing, that, hey, now that I'm in this, I ain't going back. I'm not going to become an employee ever again. So,
Right.
so
Definitely.
obviously, it's been good for you. I think I have a slide here, in fact, that you sent me of your staff. Now, these are all. Is that showing on the screen?
Yep, there it is.
Now, Carri, let me ask you, these people, they're doing the actual billing and you're just overseeing their work?
Yeah, I started out doing the billing for my first practice for a while, but then how can I take a second practice if I'm doing the billing for the first practice? So
Yeah.
I immediately saw the need to make sure that I had coverage. And what if I got sick? Who was going to do the billing? So I really feel strongly that you should be prepared and kind of expect that you're going to grow. So you hire people so that when the next client comes, you're ready to go. Because I would hate to have a doctor ask me if I could do their billing and I couldn't possibly do their billing because we don't have any time. That'd be ridiculous, right? So
yeah.
So all of my people who work for me are part-time. Which is also good because if I do get really busy, they'll be able to work a little more until I find someone if I don't have someone ready. And I also like having part-time people because if they leave me, there's not that much on the plate to be able to transfer.
Exactly. So now you told me earlier that you had about 10 clients, but does that include, and is that, does some of the clients, some of the practices have more than one doctor?
Yes, a couple of them. One has 4 doctors and a few of them have 2 doctors. So it's probably maybe 15 or 16 physicians. I have a couple actually coming and going right now. So, so it's hard to keep track. I have somebody coming on board who called me and needs help with, his staff sends the claims out, but they need help with the rest of the management, the cycle management. So we'll do that. And then I have another doctor who called me who totally needs help with everything. He doesn't think that his billing company is really making him any money. So we're going to take a look at that.
That's great. Now, are these referrals from some of your current clients?
Yeah, actually, yep. The last one I mentioned is a referral from a current client. Mm-hmm.
Well, so how did you, I know that you had some referrals initially from your husband, for example, because he was in the medical practice, but what other methods have you used to get clients?
Well, I like social media. I'm not one for driving around. I mean, I do live in the country, so it's not like I can hit like 10 people in 3 steps. For every office I go to, I have to drive like 15 or 20 minutes. So that wasn't happening. It was just too much running around. And I want to make sure that the doctor wants to talk to me. So when you're doing social media marketing, those doctors, whether they're talking to you yet or not, they're online because they're looking for a biller. And then, so you have their full attention. They're online, they're not working, they're not in between patients, they're not out to lunch. They're online looking, whether they're looking for a biller or they're just researching. The more you show up online, the more you're bound to be discovered. So
Yeah.
that's how I do it. LinkedIn and Facebook.
Okay, LinkedIn and Facebook, sure.
Mhm.
Those are both ways that people find clients out there. And some people don't think about Facebook as being a place where you would have a business site or membership. What's it called? Well, anyway.
A page. Yeah.
Yeah, just a page, Facebook page.
Yep.
But yeah, I've heard some of our other licensees say there's a lot of activity going on out there. And LinkedIn, of course, is the business site that
Right.
a lot of businesses use for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So let me ask you this: what did you look for when you were looking at businesses? Of course, you had kind of a background in the medical field, so that's unusual for us. I know you said earlier that sounds unusual that people would start a business that they didn't have any background in, but honestly, about 90% of our business owners had no experience whatsoever, because we can teach them all that they need to know. But what caused you to look at medical billing, specifically ABS, as a business opportunity? What was
Yeah.
it about our business opportunity that appealed to you?
Well, what it was I didn't really know how to start the business. I didn't know where to begin. I knew how to do medical billing, but I needed help deciding what kind of business it's going to be, like what kind of entity, and how do I get an attorney to create it, and how do I get an EIN number to pay taxes, and how do I find clients, and what system do I use? All of these things I didn't know, because it was all taken care of for me when I was working in my husband's office. I just used what they had, and you can do that too. But when I looked at you, you had all of these different programs. And also what was interesting was you had other ways to get your foot in the door, we didn't just have to do it by medical billing, which was interesting to me to check out.
Oh yes, those other services that I mentioned earlier. There's a picture of them, I think. Well, let me play that. So in other words, you didn't want to start from scratch and spend the time and money that it took to just build all this yourself. And you thought, well, I'll just invest a franchise fee up front and have it all done for me.
Well, I wanted some kind of a guide, and then I also needed support. What if I had questions? Who was going to answer my questions if I got stuck? So that's definitely something you provide lifetime also. And I'm still using it.
Yeah. That's good to hear. I tell people we used to offer support. Probably when you signed up, it was only like we offered like a year or year and a half, 2 years. And then at one point we decided, you know what? We make money on all those services. Why not just give people lifetime support?
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to be the best way to do it. That way I never worry about whether or not somebody thinks we're trying to nickel and dime them, on the back end. I just don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Nope, totally upfront, and that's why you're in business.
Right, exactly. So we mentioned earlier that you had gotten some of your businesses from referrals and social media. We teach about, I don't know, a dozen different ways probably to get clients, and some things appeal to some and some to others. Like, you don't want to go out in person because you live out in the country. Well, we've got a lot of people that live in metropolitan places, and they will go out and just drop off their business card and a brochure, introduce themselves. And, that's how they built their business. But everybody's different. So you just do whatever works.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it. And I was going to do just recently, I was going to spend the big bucks and do a what do you call it when you rent the table at a big seminar?
Oh yeah, like a trade show.
Yeah, trade show. I was
Yeah.
going to rent the table, and this was the New York Podiatric Conference. And I would have brought all my materials with me. But you know what got in the way? COVID.
COVID, yeah.
I mean, I was just ready to sign up, and then they shut everything down. It was right after Christmas. January.
Now, that's a good question there, Carrie. You brought up COVID. You went through the whole last 2 years. How did that affect your business, or did it?
Um, some doctors lost business, and so we made a little bit less money. But it wasn't too bad for us. With podiatry though, interestingly, I guess we had, when they shut down for 2 weeks, that was like the worst of it. But for podiatry, that's hands-on. So miraculously, we made it through, but they did telemedicine, they did try to talk people through problems if they heard
Right.
something, to soak it, to bandage it, like whatever they could tell them to do on the phone. So there were a lot of telemedicine visits.
I hear that same story from a lot of licensees. Some licensees said their business actually increased during that period of time, and I don't know why, unless they were doing some telemedicine and they were continuing to build, for the doctor. But every business has its ups and downs. When the economy goes sour, everybody's going to slow down a little bit and lose some money. But I'm hearing good things right now. How's your business looking right now?
Well, it's good. I mean, people have to go to the doctor. It will never be bad. I mean, people have to go to the doctor. People are sick, and it's just ongoing. It's ongoing. And for me, with podiatry, there's routine foot care. There are people that have to go, like, every 9 weeks to get their toenails trimmed. Diabetic people need to get their toenails trimmed professionally and their calluses taken off. So that's a lot of podiatrist meat and potatoes there. I mean, it's not a huge amount of money, but they see a lot of people.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier some doctor. Now, this may be the doctor that you decided, since you were in podiatry billing primarily, that you didn't want to take in, but
yeah.
Can you tell that story about that? It was a primary care doctor.
It's not a good story for me, but I do podiatry, and the doctor came to me, and it was a primary care physician, and they once they realized I did podiatry, they didn't seem that interested. And I said, well, you know what, I'm going to give it to another medical biller that I know, another medical billing company, to help the doctor out. And I passed it on. And when you know it, she's making at least $8,000 a month on this doctor. And I'm sure I could have learned primary care billing. What was I thinking?
Yeah, well, you learn a lesson there. But
I did.
Hey,
That's a bummer.
I'm sure she's very grateful for you having given that.
She's grateful.
Well, we don't want to talk about specifics, of course, Carrie, but when it comes to revenue and so forth, obviously you've got people working for you. I'm assuming that you're making a full-time income yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I'm, even if I'm making a little money on each account, the more accounts you get, a little bit of money, and then some of them are big bits of money. They all add up. So yes, I'm always willing to pay staff to do the job, and then of course I'm charging a lot more than I'm paying them. I mean, I also have expenses too. But yeah, so I make money on each person. All those people up there are making money for me.
Well, from a billing standpoint, purely numbers of claims, what do you think one of your largest accounts are? What kind of volume do you have?
Statistics, I really don't even know. Actually, I'd have to sit down and figure it out. But a lot of doctors, they'll see 25 to 30 patients a day.
Yeah, 25 to 30 a day. Sure. Yeah. All right. So let me ask you this. How much time each week did you devote when you first began? And how much time do you put in each week now? Is this a full-time 40-hour, 50, 60-hour?
I'm too old for that. I would love to retire, so I try to make believe that I am. But probably 20 hours a week. And even starting out, I never did work full time, and I never wanted to work full time. So once I worked a little more than 20, I hired my helper already, because that's my limit.
That's kind of where I'm at. I tell people I'm the founder of the company, which always indicates to me, when somebody says you're the founder, but you're not the CEO, that means you're retired. You're just doing things because you want to.
Yeah. I like to spend time working on my business as opposed to working in my business. So I love doing the marketing and talking to the doctors and creating the agreements, and then I take on some of the stuff that just I feel like the billers don't need to. And I like to talk to the doctors weekly and make sure I do my owner part. So
That's the way to do it. Yeah, you're overseeing the business,
yeah.
managing, directing, and letting the people that are working for you do most of the
Yeah, because it's a lot of work. And if I was actually doing the work, I wouldn't have time. I wouldn't be able to take my head out of the papers and look around. So
Are you still adding clients? I mean, you
mhm.
said that there were a couple that you're looking at right now. So you're
Yes,
still
so a nephrologist got in touch with me, and now I'm going to learn nephrology. So, which shouldn't be that hard. I like to have my specialty because I feel like it draws those podiatrists to me, knowing that I only do that. Um, but on the other hand, I lose out on the other work. So I figure I will just say that I do all specialties, but we specialize in podiatry, and we still do all the other specialties. So yeah, I have a
that's a
doctor now who called me, and he doesn't think his billing company is actually doing the work because he's not seeing anything coming in and a lot is going out. So that's
wow.
something I can definitely help with.
Sure.
We'll go ahead, we'll take a look, we'll jump into, I think I have to use his system. Sometimes I bring people onto our system, next gen, and other times people, or I claim, other times people don't want to change. They're just stuck with their, billing problem. And sometimes changing is too big for them, too drastic.
Sure. But you can usually find somebody then to use any doctor's billing system. I guess they're all similar.
We all learn. Yeah. Even if
Yeah.
I bring on a new biller, they have systems that they know, but yeah, you learn. It just takes a couple of weeks. And every system has support where you can call up
Sure.
and say, where do I find this? Or how do I run this report? The doctor wants a report and I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
And our iClaim has great reports, tons of reports. So it's the best reports that I've ever seen.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Uh, Nancy has asked a question here, Carri. It's pretty interesting. Carri, were your employees experienced in medical billing prior to coming in to work for you?
Um, yes, all but one. And one I'm still training.
Ah, yeah. And you can do all that remotely. I guess these people all work from their own homes.
Yeah, a lot of time. I mean, I have weekly meetings with everybody, and we do a Zoom just like this, and they can show me their screen like you're showing your screen. Show me what they're talking about so I
Yeah,
can see and work with them.
sure, sure. Oh, this Zoom and other tools that are out there just make it wonderful for working remotely.
Yep, absolutely.
We were doing live training down here in Texas. You came through the live
I
training.
was there.
Uh, and that's a fun experience, but boy, people would rather not get on a plane nowadays and travel and stay in a hotel and so forth. So this was before the COVID hit back in the late 2019, maybe October, November. We decided, you know what, we can do all this virtually. Why not just set it up to do it virtually? So that's all we do now. Was Cynthia your trainer back then? You remember?
No, it was Bonnie.
Oh, Bonnie. Yeah, Bonnie. She's from Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, anyway, this Cynthia is one of our licensees. She also has been a licensee for several years, and she's out in the Phoenix area, but she does the training for us now. She's got a bunch of people that work for her. You know what? She told me the other day she had clients in like 13 different states. Have you got anybody that's outside your area?
Yeah, I have clients, one in Washington State and North Carolina and New York, and Alabama. And I had one in Arizona who I'm not billing for anymore. I'm looking at my map. I have to look at the map because when you bill for Medicare, um, it's broken. The United States is broken up into, I think it's 9, what they call MACs. So for Medicare, they have different rules for certain things. So you have to bill according to your MAC.
So you said some of your folks, or maybe one of them, did not have any background in medical billing. How do you find these people?
Well, that one is my son.
Oh, really?
He
Okay.
found me. Yeah, he's switching gears and he wants to do this.
How old is
But I
he?
do. How is he?
How old is he?
Oh my God, he's 40. I
Yeah.
hate to say that. Makes me look old.
I would have never guessed.
When people ask me, I usually just skip him and go to my 35-year-old. So my oldest is 35. Yeah, yeah.
And
He
so,
wants.
the question here from Nancy is: Do you have? Does ABS have training materials? She's talking about how do you train your employees? Do you just get online live with them?
I do that, and I have written documents as to what to do next, and with questions that they might have and answers that I answer. I just created my own documents, and some of them are different depending on the client, because some
Yeah.
clients never just do this. So I might have nursing home information for somebody of a doctor who does nursing home. Oh, and by the way, I have one in California. I have a PA, a physician assistant, and she
You
does podiatry work. Yeah.
really?
Yeah. She has a little, like a motorhome that they drive around in to do house calls and nursing homes.
How clever!
Yeah, I know. It's great. So
Wow.
she was a mess. Her same thing. People were getting claims out, but nothing gets done. They send it, but then if it comes back and it's not paid, there's no one there to try to get it paid. So that's what we do.
That's great. Talking about training, I don't know if we had this at the time, but now NextGen through our iClaim system has video training for people who
Mhm.
don't know anything about medical billing. Little segments for 3 to 5 minute videos that they can watch. So Nancy, the training really is done through those videos through our partner NextGen, and that's the people that know how to do this kind of stuff. So we let them train them. Although we do have some training materials out there on our licensee support site, but once you've learned it, you can certainly train anybody that you wanted to, and maybe record it like we're recording this today, and then provide that to any future employees. What do you consider the best thing about running your own business, Carri? What's
Oh, the time, and the freedom to do what I want. Like, for instance, we went skiing for 5 days a week ago, and actually it's very rare. I think it's the first time in 10 years that I really didn't work at all. I mean, we went to Israel before COVID, and I took my computer and I worked every night on vacation. But I decided not to, and I just made sure that my staff covered whatever it is that I do, or it's just going to have to wait until I get back. So that was really nice to be able
yes.
to just create the time that I want to go, and let everyone know, and do what I want. And yesterday we took a day off. We went skiing again, because in New York it's probably our last day of skiing.
Oh,
And I just
okay.
let
Get a
everyone
little
know where
warmer.
I am on our calendar, our group calendar, and that's it.
Yeah, it's getting warmer up there, huh?
I'm hoping. It's been crazy cold in New York.
It's
Shouldn't be this cold.
57 here today, but it's supposed to get up to 73 in Texas. So
Nice.
yeah. Um, well, so that is an advantage of having your own business, being in control of your time and taking off when you want to.
Yes.
And the nice thing is that as long as you have an internet connection, you can take your laptop and actually do work from anywhere.
Well, we own a motorhome, and I did that a lot when I was a little more involved in the billing, and I did that a lot. But then COVID came, of course, and we didn't travel that much. But anytime, yeah, I mean, I can work from anywhere. Anytime I go anywhere, I just take my laptop. But talking about weather, I have to say that we decided to put in a pool last year. And because of my business, we were able to do that. So
Oh,
I'm excited
wow.
about that. Yeah. My husband's
That's
like, can we do it? I'm
great.
like, yeah, I think we can do this. We've always wanted a pool.
Yeah, sure. Well, that sounds like you need to pay me some money on the back end of your business to cover that.
Yeah. Okay. Or you can come over.
Hey, that's a great question. A lot of people ask us, well, how much do I have to pay for support, updates to the software, new users? Are there limitations? How much have you paid ABS, since it started?
Absolutely nothing.
Isn't that
Nope, and
great?
support is just included, and they'll answer any questions that you have. I've called support many times, especially in the beginning when you get a client and you really, even though you were taught, it's like, oh my God, what do I do exactly now? I kind of forgot. I forgot. So
Yeah.
you call them or you email, and they let you know exactly what to do. And it's great because without that, I don't think I could have done it. In fact, I've wanted to open up a medical billing business for a while. And, when my husband got hurt and it was time, I had no idea what to do. So
Oh,
you learn everything.
yeah. You just have to, you would have to literally reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, I don't know how I would do it. I guess I would figure it out eventually, but I didn't have that time, and I didn't want to. I just wanted someone to guide me and support me, which is really nice.
Well, and one of the reasons we came up with all these different other services that I'm showing here on the screen, these are the flyers that we developed for those services, is because if you want to offer these, you can. They're optional, but if you offer these to the doctor, you can also make money on them as well. Well, we as a company make a few pennies on all the transactions that go through our system, plus on these services here. So we don't have to charge an ongoing support fee of any kind or training. That's all covered by, our partners. Hey, by the way, one of the advantages is being able to get on our weekly webinars that we have for our licensees. You were on the one we had, a couple of weeks ago. We had a roundtable.
Yeah.
And to me, that's one of the huge advantages of being a part of a network like this and not trying to do it on your own, because you can actually have an interaction with other people that are having the same challenges that you are. They give you tips, and you gave a lot of good stuff on that last one, Carri, that were just very valuable to our licensees. Thank you.
Great. You're welcome.
To me, that's worth having that constant, interaction with other people. And as you know, we also teach new products and services. We redo our webinars on all of our different services. So that's an ongoing thing.
And you have
for
updates.
licensees.
I mean, I go on to the licensee website, which has a ton of information, and there's talk about new things that's happening in the industry, which is great. And also, you have Dr. Vicky, who helps let us know what doctors are thinking. So that's pretty cool. She's, and even after being a licensed years, I still go on there. I'll still review. Sometimes I'll review. Let me refresh my memory about proposals. Maybe I've been not proposing it so great if I lose a sale. And let me just double check, because you have everything in video there. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I just get a little bit more in the groove again, like from starting from scratch. You sometimes need the reminders, and everything is on there. All the trainings that I've ever done got recorded, and they're up there.
Yes, you're right. Dr. Vicky is a very valuable resource for our licensees. I don't think people realize that having a doctor that's basically partnering with you, you can refer to her as, partnering, because she's a part of our network. So we pay her, of course, for her time, but the point is that she is willing to work with any of our licensees who want to use her as a reference. Of course, her name is on the book that you can use as a marketing tool. And I think she's under one of these. I forget where I actually have Dr. Vicky's information. Resources, probably. Yeah, there we go, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. We've been putting things out on this side here for, oh gosh, the last 8 years, maybe. And
Yeah,
so
well,
that's,
she'll do. I'm sorry. She does like webinars where she talks about how doctors think, so that we can get inside their heads a little bit to, what will attract them to our billing company. What are they looking for?
exactly. I mean, she's actually specialized in that for the last 10 years. When she retired being a surgeon, she decided to start a business that was helping financial planners to connect with doctors because they're good clients, of course, for financial planners. And that's all she's been doing, is teaching them how to connect with doctors. So when I ran across her about maybe 5 years ago. I said, Dr. Vicky, you're exactly who I need to help, with our licensees. In fact, I think I told her, you're the woman I've been looking for all my life.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so these are some of the webinars that she has out there on the licensee support side, but she continues to come out with new stuff. I interview her from time to time, and we add all kinds of new things. This alone, to me, is invaluable. To have a doctor tell you, here's the best way to get in front of doctors. It doesn't get any better than that. So let's see. Here's one from Shazad. Says, is it hard to keep different specialties in your portfolios? Like mostly owners do just one specialty. But you're learning right now, Carri, that you could bill for any doctor probably.
Yeah, most billing companies are multi-specialty. I just did podiatry because that's what I knew, and I started with four podiatrists, and I felt that I would grow, in that way. Maybe they were looking for a billing company that specializes in podiatry, because some do. But yeah, now I find that it's limiting me. So I will take other specialties, but I will specialize in podiatry.
That's kind of funny to me, because people who don't have any background at all and get into this business, they don't have any reason to specialize in one particular specialty like you did. And so they'll just take any client that they can get. We just got an email today from a lady that said she's signing up a multi chiropractors, and there's several in there. I think she said 6 or 7. So that's one of those things that I tell people, look, billing is billing. There are some specialty codes that some specialties use, of course, that you need to become familiar with, but that's pretty easy. They'll give you those codes that they've been using, and you can go through our system and decide if they're the best codes or if you need to give them some better codes, because there are codes that can pay better than other codes. Anything you'd like to share with people just in general as we are talking here about your business?
Well, like the title of this webinar, it is definitely profitable. I mean, especially when you're not doing the work. People think it's more profitable when you are doing the work.
Yeah.
But then you don't have your time, and time is valuable. So
that's right.
I would actually, if I had the choice, make less money, have more time, but we need the money. But so sure. I just keep on pushing forward and taking the time to talk to doctors and offer my services. And I'm able to do that because the other people are billing. But we make money for sure. And the people who work for me are making money, and the doctors are making money. So it's all good.
It's a win-win for everybody, isn't it?
It's a win-win for sure. You just have to be honest and do the best you can for the doctors. And be diligent and not let anything slide, which is why they came to you, because the other billing companies were letting things slide. So if you're good at what you do, you'll make money.
Yeah, and people ask me all the time, well, why would a doctor switch from their own staff doing the billing or another billing company? It's because some billing companies don't have all the tools we have. They don't have the system that we have that collects more money than most systems and less rejection rate and so forth. So doctors sometimes switch. You just have to be the person that's actually offering them as many different things as you can to help their practice grow. And that's why we added, all those other services as well. Yep. And then all of your other clients, I guess, came through referrals from that doctor and social media.
Yep, that's it. Referrals and social media. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. You've built it to a good sized business, and obviously it's providing a nice income for you. If you can afford a pool, then you've got some extra disposable income.
Yes, so excited about that.
I'll bet. All right, well, it's kind of like a boat. They say the greatest day in a boat owner's life is when they buy a boat. The second greatest day is when they sell it. So,
yeah, because it's expensive.
It can be true with a pool too. Believe me, I have one. I've had one for 12 years now. And either how to get out there and clean the thing each week, or you find somebody to do that for you.
Well, my husband's retired. So there you go.
There you go. Let him get out there and clean it.
He will. He's excited.
All right. Well, Carri, thanks again for being on here. if you need anything, we're here. Let us know.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye,
Yeah,
everyone.
bye for now. Those of you who've asked a couple of questions about, is there a fee? Yes, you can go to our website and find exactly what the investment is, but I'll just tell you, it's around $29,000. Just like a franchise fee, folks, you pay an upfront fee. With ours, it's a one-time lifetime fee. You never pay anything else to us. That's the nice part. And you have lifetime support. You have access to our licensee website I showed you earlier, all for nothing. There's no extra charges for our webinars we do weekly or our roundtables that we have with other licensees. All of that's inclusive. All the new webinars, the new training, all of that's included. You don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to nickel and dime people on the back end. I just don't believe in that. And that's the way I would want people to do business with me. So that's how we do business. And of course, remember that we have the live training that's included in that package as well, and training materials. Some of those training materials, by the way, are very valuable. For example, think about what it would cost you to actually have a book written for you and co-author it or put your name on the cover and so forth. That is invaluable. And look, here's one of our books that we use, the one I wrote with Dr. Vicki Ragnar. You'll notice at the bottom it says forward by Susan Smith. Well, that's just a fake name. That could be your name. And CRMRM, of course, is your designation as a certified medical revenue manager. But your name is right there on the cover with a doctor. And that's invaluable, folks. It's just invaluable. I can't tell you how. And we have two other books that you can put your name and information about your company on the cover as well. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you there. Now, let me also say that for those of you who are wondering, since it is hard to decide on something like this, I know you can do your due diligence. We don't try to close people or put a deadline or anything like that. We just say, look, find out whether this is for you or not. See if you can come up with the funds, put it on a credit card or two, or maybe turn in your 401k, something like that, wherever, borrow it from Uncle John, whatever it takes to get the investment. And then we will be there to support you every step of the way. But we also have a money back guarantee. Yeah, that's because it's important that you know that a money back guarantee is one of those things that helps you feel comfortable when you're investing, especially anything on the web like this, right? Because there's a lot of scams and fake things going on out there. So I decided a few years back to put a lifetime guarantee on this. My staff thought I was nuts. Oops, it went away, didn't it? There it is. It's unconditional. In the first 30 days, if there's anything you don't like about our business, once you get all the materials, once you've gone through our live one-on-one training, again, anything that you don't like, you just ask for your money back if you don't like it. I've just decided it's better to give people their money and let them go their way and do something else if that's what they need to do. Let's see what steps you should take. Well, the first is to get our research guide. Now, I actually have one of those right here. I just printed it out so you can see that it really is it's a 65-page booklet that has all kinds of information in there. I can't even see my own screen here. Let me see if I'm showing that to you. Yeah, anyway, all this information in this booklet is available to you. Just ask for it. It's a downloadable PDF right now, but it's 65 pages of information that's not on our website. Get back with the person who invited you to this webinar. That's what we call your ABS rep. And just tell them, I'm interested in that research guide. We'll get that to you. There's what it looks like in some of the pages that are in there, but it's real good information. Then browse the YouTube. We have a channel out there on YouTube. It's called Why ABS. So go to youtube.com/WhyABS and you'll see a bunch of videos that we've put out there. I mean, again, folks, we've been doing this for 28 years. So I think we've been putting videos out there for 10 years. So you got plenty of information out there if you just want to do your own research and due diligence. Now, we do these webinars every week. So you're welcome to sit in on them if you want to ask live questions. But there's a lot of good information on all those. Be sure and look for some of the testimonials and interviews that I've done, just like I did with Carri. There's a lot of people. I think there's over 150 or almost 150 interviews that I've done with people that have gone through our training, and they tell you, answers your questions there as well. And hey, by the way, if you'd like to talk to somebody like Carri live, we'll give you their phone numbers and their contact information. Just again, ask your ABS rep for an owner reference list. That's what it's called, owner's reference list. And that will be that contact information. Yes, we have people who have gone through our training, who've started a business, who've been in it for some time, and they're making good money, and they're willing to take the time. They're so grateful for what we've done for them. They're willing to take the time to talk to people. Well, there's some of them right there. These are actual licensees that are willing to take some of the phone calls from people like yourself who are just looking into it. And if you want to see a live demo of our software, you won't find out a lot about our software on our website, but we do give live demos. We'll get on one-on-one with you through a Zoom meeting like this and let you see the software. You can ask all the questions you want. We give you a little overview of it. It's not a sales pitch. We're just trying to let you know that we have the best platform that's out there, and you'll see why. Doctors look at these demos that we do for them, for you, for your doctor prospects, and they are just blown away. They just can't believe what they're seeing because it's so advanced. It's one of the best that are out there because, well, NextGen developed it, and they are one of the largest companies in the United States in the healthcare industry. So that's all done through Zoom. Our guy is up here in the left-hand corner, for example, doing the demo for your doctor. And you can also be on that demo too, to watch and see what was said to that doctor and see all the questions that are asked. Then be sure and review the purchase agreement and the funding instructions. We'll get that to you as well through your ABS rep. It's a very simple 4-page document. There's nothing too legalese about it that you can understand. It lists all the information that you need and all the materials that are in the package as well. So just ask for a copy of that. There's no obligation. And then last but not least, send in your agreement and your funding and schedule your training. Again, we can give you some hints and tips and ideas about funding this business too, if you don't have, the money set aside for the licensing fee. When you set up your training, you'll be actually speaking with one of our instructors, the one who's going to be teaching you, and you'll get to know them even before you start. But you'll also sit with them and find out what's the best times and days for you to get trained. We'll work around your schedule, and if you're wondering, you can get through this training, folks, in less than 30 days. This is what we call our initial training. There's 10 modules. Each one's about an hour and a half. So you're going to put in 15 hours of initial training covering everything you can imagine. But after that, you can go into that licensee support side I showed you earlier, and there's tons of more learning that you can do there. Again, all included in the licensing fee. So there's your steps. If you want to take a screenshot of that right now, you can, or you can go back and watch this video when we send you the list of the recording to it. Nancy said she couldn't hear me. I guess it's when I was muted earlier. I lost volume. Can't hear you anymore. Wow. Okay. So I don't know what happened there. Hopefully that's all cleared up by now. Well, folks, thank you. Are there any more questions? I have 5 minutes until the top of the hour, and I'm willing to take any other questions that you have right now. What better time could you find to ask questions of the founder of the company than right now? Folks, this has been such a great business for me and my family that at one point we decided we wanted to start. Oh, Nancy says she can hear me now. Good. We wanted to start offering this to other people. I'll tell you what happened. Some of our friends and relatives asked, well, how are you guys making that kind of money? So I started teaching people how to do it. And then at one point I realized, man, I'm putting in a lot of time. Why don't I just come up with some training materials and videos and marketing materials and things so that we can just make it as a training package and charge a fee for that. When we started, of course, it wasn't $29,000. It was a whole lot less money. But as we've added all those different services that I showed you earlier, each one of those can make you money, folks. So those are multiple streams of income. And so our price has gone up over the years. That's why. Now, if you've been looking at franchises, you know that $29,000 is not a lot of money. There's franchises that charge, gosh, I don't know what the least one is out there, maybe $50,000 up to $1 million. If you want a McDonald's, you're going to spend $1 million on their franchise fee. There's all kinds of businesses out there, of course, compare ours with them. And I think you'll see that for the investment, it's really not that big an investment. It's very reasonable. And so, okay, here's another question. Oh, Anthony's asking, how and where do owners find part-time or full-time billers for their franchises? Well, Anthony, that's one of our proprietary secrets that I shouldn't share with you, but I'm going to because it's not that big a secret. Look, there are people who are doing billing for other doctors right now, working in their offices. They'd love to be able to work either part-time or full-time out of their homes and do that billing for you. They're using all kinds of different systems that are out there, but of course we have training that you can point them to so that they can learn our particular system. And one of the ways you could do that, for example, is just to advertise. We're going to show you the exact places online where you can advertise for those people and just say, I'm looking for people who can help me build my medical billing business. And you will be inundated with resumes, believe me. Everything from Craigslist to putting something out there on Facebook. There's all kinds of places. Indeed.com, that's another site where people look for things. Even Fiverr.com. If you haven't looked at Fiverr, that's a great site for finding people who want to work from their home, doing things that are on the computer. And, you can offer those people a percentage. Even you don't have to pay them a salary. Say, look, I'm collecting money from the doctor. I charge him a percentage of what we collect, and I'm going to give you a small portion of that to where it comes out that you're making, $15, $20 an hour. And you will still make a whole lot more. Folks, I have licensees that tell me that, at 7 or 8% that they charge the doctor, they're making a ton of money. Well, you heard Carri earlier say that she had a primary care physician that was making the lady who's doing the billing for that doctor now over $8,000 a month. So that's because he does, $100,000 a month in billing. So it's very profitable for you, even after you've paid those people. And anyway, we'll give you some other insight into that, Anthony. These are good questions. Just ask them also of the person who you're dealing with at our office, the one who sent you the invitation to this webinar. Well, folks, it's the top of the hour. I'm going to leave this screen going for about another 60 seconds. And you're welcome to ask any other questions too. We'll get those questions answered via email probably if we don't get to it live here. So thanks for being on here. We're going to do another webinar next week, and we will continue to educate you as much as we can, week by week. We've had people be on these webinars for 2 and 3 years before they could decide that this is what they want to do, that we were for real and not a scam, and come up with the funding, of course, for it. So hey, if it takes you that long, fine. We continue to do these, and we plan to be here another 28 years. All right. Well, thanks again, folks. And I hope I see you on one of our online training modules here soon with one of our trainers. And if not, I hope that you find the kind of business that you would like to be in. Bye for now.